Okay, so I think this is what's happened. Got the valve cover back off. You can see that push rod there at the end. Right there. I think when I replaced the governor gear, which is there, this is the top of the engine here, on my table here, along with everything else I took out. And I think what happened is that, the governor gear meshes in there, and this gear, you have the main kind of drive shaft here, that drive gear, and this, see this lobe here? I don't know if you can see that kind of egg-shaped thing there, but it's supposed to push. Oops. Let me just put that there for a second. It's supposed to, that tip of that is supposed to just ride on here, and this, as it spins around, pushes it, and it pushes it against this, which then pushes against the valve shaft itself, which then goes back up into here. And I think what happened is this was obviously loose. I had the valve cover closed, sealed up, and then I was working in here, and I think I pushed that rod down. It must have gotten underneath here a little bit, and when I put the cover down, it would have jammed it and bent the rod. So next time what I'm going to do, I'm obviously got to buy a new rod now, which they'll be cheap, but I'm going to make sure it's resting here properly and turning properly, and I'm going to watch this kind of bounce as it moves, as I move that. So I'll have all this open next time so I can see what's going on, and then I'll close it back up and everything else. So that's what happened. I bent the rod, and it was interesting because when I cranked it up, like, it definitely fired, and it tried to do something, but it couldn't do anything because, not much, because the exhaust fumes didn't come out, so it couldn't breathe more in, to get the fresh air to ignite and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of bogged the engine down immediately. So it didn't do any further damage. It didn't look like. I mean, that's the engine. Everything else looks fine. The governor gear is still in perfect shape. So it looks like it was just that one little blip, and that's a learning curve for me. So I will buy a new one of these, no problem. And we're going to have to put a new gasket on here. Actually, I already have another gasket. It came with two. I'll have to buy another engine gasket. And it went a lot smoother this time, actually, because it's not the first time I've done it. The last time was, even though I didn't do it right. All the little intricacies of taking these things off, and just so many little things you have to do and do it just right to make them come off. Like with that alternator's a real pain to get off as well. But now that you know how to do it, it comes off much easier. Just have to remember exactly how you did it. So anyway, that's where we're at with this. I'm going to button it back up for tonight, and I'm going to immediately order these parts, and hopefully they will come in very soon, and then we can get this thing going. I can't think of anything else it would be. This is, as far as causing that push rod to bend like that, and gratefully it's a very cheap part, and everything else looks very sturdy, in good shape. So we'll give it a try and see what happens. Hopefully in the next few days we can have this thing working right and buttoned up and finished.